Hello and welcome to The Good, The Bad and The Ugly with me, Rusty, here on All For United. If you're new, it's the show with 3 topics and 3 questions, and we expect you to join in the comments section as well, which I'm going to bring up right now because I can't see it. Hello, Gainer. This week, I have Mr. Karl, Edgar and Acting Joe. How are you doing, boys?
Phenomenal.
Sound?
Yeah, sound, mate. Sound.
I'm going to drop in and just see how your days are first. So, obviously, it's next day for Karl because you started your new job, mate. How's it been?
Yeah, it was good, mate. I hate this big screen, No, it was good. Enjoy myself. On my head is massive, isn't it? I enjoyed myself. It was good actually. Bit tired now, running around after Key Stage 1 kids, but yeah, no, it was good, mate. Cheers.
Good, glad you enjoyed it, mate. But yeah, that'll be knackering, mate. Obviously, you realise how low you are on energy levels when you start like looking after kids and running after kids all day. Joe, your day's been quite eventful as well, hasn't it, my man?
Yeah, it was some crack. I work in a hospital in Naas, where I live in Ireland, in the town called Naas, and work in Naas General Hospital. And there was a patient all day who thought he was a motorbike. So for 10 hours throughout the day, literally all I got was which is great. It's eventful. It keeps you going. But I also want to point out, my brother bought me this jersey. He sent it over to me the other day. Kev O'Neill, he sent it over from Sweden, and I very much appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Banging shirt as well, mate.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting on the next away top. That's the one I've got. But lads, it's the good, the bad, the ugly. The good this week is Van der Beek has signed. It's literally just been announced as well. I know Carl's just done a bit on his show as well on that United family. He's here. It's complete. I don't know if it's 35 or 40 million. We'll soon find out officially what it is. I'm excited about it. I just had a bit of a rant on Twitter though, because people were going on the official announcement and going, any more new signings? I'm like, fucking just enjoy the moment. I tweeted that these are the kind of people who, when they were kids, they would never ever like appreciative of any of the gifts that they got. They were like, what's next? Yeah. You know what I mean? Just
bastards.
Enjoy the moment, you bad melts. But he's a great signing for me. He plays in 3 different positions. So obviously he can go in that number 10 role. He can play a defensive role. He can play a central midfield role, which he's mostly played for Ajax. I love him, but I want to see what you people in the comments think as well, and what you boys think. So I'm going to come to you, Joe, first, because I'm going to give Karl the rest. He's had an hard day running after kids. So Joe, Joe, how do you feel about Van der Beek?
Cool. Karl, you have a little nap there. Let me take this one.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
Look, on the same thing, actually, with what you said about people underneath the official announcement, where's the new signing? I remember Jadon Sancho, when Chadwick Boseman died, he put up an announcement saying something about him being a hero, and people are like, are you coming to Man United or what? And he's just like, piss off and let people have a moment. But Van der Beek, I am delighted that we have him. I think he's an exceptional talent coming through and all like that. I think we got him at a good price. There's a massive sort of but I'm going to put in there. I am very happy we got him, but he's not the player. If we end with just him, it's been a miserable transfer window, because the position he's coming into is not the position we need to strengthen right now, because he's coming in as a behind Pogba and behind Fernandes. Like, we're kind of fine there at the moment. For backup, absolutely, he's one for the future. I completely agree with that. But we need a right winger. We need a hold midfielder, which he can do, but not as efficiently as his other positions. And we need a centre back. So I am very happy we got him, but I would have been, a lot more ecstatic if we had maybe 1 or 2 signings before we got him, if that makes sense. So
it makes sense. It makes sense because you want to get excited about him because he is a great player. But at the same time, with only 4 weeks to go, you're starting to think, hey, mate, what's going on here? Are we going to get somebody else? And I get that. I totally get that. But there is 4 more weeks to go. There are rumours knocking about. And I still think we're in for Sancho as well. Anyway, Karl, what's your taking on Van der Beek? We were calling Van der Beek last night, mate, weren't we? Until we realised. But what's your take on Van der Beek, mate?
Yeah, no, he's class. Like, what he's done at Ajax is good. Obviously, he's very versatile, and it's. Do you know what I hate the most is when people are just like, "Oh, where's he gonna play?" Doesn't matter, mate. Like, remember when we used to have like Sheringham and Solskjaer on the bench?
Yeah,
like things like that. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Like, you can fit him in that team with Bruno and Pogba easily. You can. There's ways to do it. Whether that happens or if it works, we'll find out. But like I say, he's young lad. Like Gaynor says, what we paid for him is next to nothing. If someone on TalkSport, I think it was, or no, it wasn't. It was Sky Sports said we've got an £80 million player for half price, mate. So. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a brilliant addition to the squad. Like Joe says, we do need more. But we've proven over the last 2 windows that we can get deals done quickly. Look at the Igalo one. I know it was only a loan, but it was literally done within hours. This Van der Beek one was like rumoured Sunday afternoon and was done by 6 o'clock. Yeah. So we can do it if we want to do it. It's just whether we can do it across multiple transfers. And the Sancho one's a bit different because it's 120 million quid, mate.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money to spend. It needs... obviously more sort of details to be ironed out, but no, I'm happy with Van der Beek, mate. Class player, big future, and he's another one that wants to play for the club.
That's it as well. Yeah, the fact he's put out, Ajax have actually put out an official announcement. It's class. It's a conversation between Van der Beek.
God. Yeah. Oh, it's so great. Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it? It's just a touch of class, and the fact that he wants to come here, he's hungry, and he is a great player. He's so versatile. Like Carl saying, people worrying where he can play. You can even play Pogba in that front row, and Bruno and Van der Beek. You can play Van der Beek and Bruno behind. You can play a diamond and bring Matic in and let Matic be a holding player and 2 up front. It's got so many chances, and it's given us so much more to look forward to in that midfield. For 35 million, he's solved a few problems, not just one. He hasn't just solved like a defensive midfield or an attacking midfield or central midfield. He's kind of gone, I can do any of these. Where do you want me? And the rest can do what they're going to do as well. I don't think he'll push Bruno out. Bruno's been fantastic as number 10. Yeah. I think he will sit behind with Pogba, which is what he's good at anyway. He's a good defensive midfielder too. Lads, my question was for this one and for those in the comments. So we've obviously got Van der Beek. Who else, just one, you can't be naming any more than one. What one more player would you like to bring in during the window? And again, I'll come to you first, Joe.
Yeah, look, it's kind of always going to be Sancho for me. I do think we need a centre back, but we've also improved. If we go through the window without getting a centre back, I would be annoyed, but I wouldn't be too miserable because we have improved on the season before last with the defence we have now from last season. So I think they're going to get better and work together. Even though I prefer someone Dan Lindelof, I would be happy with that somewhat. So with Sancho, I just think that extra dynamic that he brings to every team he's a part of. I don't like watching him for England because I don't like England. But when he does show up in Dortmund games, which I do enjoy watching, I just think he's exceptional. He's 19 or 20 and he has 20 goals and 20 assists in last season and a lot the season before that as well. And he's going to be one of the best in the world, and we can get him for 120 million. And if we don't get him this season, we're never going to get him because Dortmund are happy to sell at, the way they want to sell it, which is, I think, 100 million plus 20 million add-ons, which United aren't happy about. But if we don't get him next season, they probably won't want to do business with us because Barcelona and Real Madrid will both be able to spend big, or PSG. Everyone will be after him, and then we'll be down the pecking order because the price will only go up. So if we don't get him this season, no matter what happens after that, it's been a miserable window because he can do everything we want. And if we don't get him, we're boned. So
bang on as well. The price will go up, especially if he has another good season. And if he's as good as he is, undoubtedly, I believe he is. I believe he's a generational talent. And that price will, especially because of the times we're in now, where 120 million might be seen as a bargain because of COVID, because of restrictions, because of financial restrictions that most clubs have got in place. For me, he's a phenomenal talent. And I'd be happy if we just ended up with Van der Beek and Sancho this transfer window. I think that's enough going forward. That's me personally. Tell me what you think in the comments. Who would you like to bring in apart from Van der Beek? You can only pick one, though. Don't start getting all excited and going off tangent from the question when I said one. That's all I want is one. Carl, who's it going to be for you, Mucker?
Obviously, Sancho's the one, isn't he? I think he completes a lot of puzzles that United fans have got. I also, it's like, we do need a centre half. I don't think we're desperate for a centre half. Then we are another top quality player. The thing with Sancho though is like it all depends. I think next year, if Dortmund keep hold of him this year, it all depends on how many fans are allowed in stadiums to whether people can afford him next season. And I think we'll have the money because we've always got the money. Do you know what I mean? But I think Madrid and Barcelona are very well-run clubs, but they're not absolutely loaded. Do you know what I mean? So it all depends what happens moving forward with fans going back to grounds. I think if that happens, and and match day revenue becomes 100% again for all the clubs in Europe, then yeah, we will have a battle on our hands. But if it doesn't, and it sort of stays like this, where you've got like 20% of the fans going in, I still think we're in for a shout next season, next summer for him. So we'll see how it goes. I want Sancho, and I think he's the number one target on every Man United list.
I think he's the one as well, isn't it? That if he did get away, he did slip through our fingers, that would be the one that had hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? If Van der Beek didn't make it, we'd probably find somebody else and we'd be quite happy, even though for me it's an amazing signing. It will kind of just, it would leave a little bit of a knife in the heart.
Yeah, as well as that, like actually, Karl, what you're saying there, I never crossed my mind about the money not coming in over the next couple of months, because, you know, when crowds are allowed back in, if they're allowed back in. But as well as that, something I was thinking about, even if the money does come back in, I am not 100% sure, I don't know what you guys' opinion on this is, if Pogba will be around. I think he'll be around this season anyway. But after this season, who knows? And if he's going to go, it'll probably be to Real Madrid. Then Real Madrid definitely won't have the money for anyone else. So it kind of makes the market a bit smaller again. And if Barcelona don't get money from Messi, who knows if they have any money, because they are skint as well, because they're so actually badly run at the moment. So it could just be really the only people again, because he's not going to go to City, and PSG, I just hope are gone extinct by next season.
Everyone's brassic, mate, aren't they? And I do you know what? In a sad little way, I quite like it that like football clubs is kind of feeling the pain that's in my pocket as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm never going to be rich. It hurts, doesn't it? I sometimes, once upon a time, couldn't even pay me subs to go and pay $5 Never mind sign like Messi or Neymar.
I've known for ages about the money in this game. It's killed it for match going fans. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's just too much in it. Like I spoke to you about it, Russell, actually, about you know, potentially having a cap on it, or you know, like the NFL do. But it's all about how, you know, sponsorships, etc., and I don't know. Hopefully, we can still sign him next summer night, but we'll see. Shall we? We'll just we'll see what happens.
Sure, we'll pray.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. For me, it's 3 out of 3. It's Sancho. If I was only going to pick one, obviously we've got other players we'd love to sign, but for me, it has to be Sancho. I think he's one of them players that, even though you won't want him to fall asleep, you kind of feel like Ronaldo or Messi. If they have a tired, lazy game, he could be one of those players who just turns up for 5 minutes, changes the game on its head. Does something special, and that's the kind of team you need when you're going to be winning titles. You know what I mean? Mo Salah did it at Liverpool. You know, he didn't have the greatest of season, but when he wanted to play, absolutely phenomenal. So Sancho for me as well. I've seen a few people say centre forwards. I don't think we need a centre forward.
I don't get that at all,
to be quite honest. But right, that's the good sorted out, and it's the first time in episode 3 that we've had a good. Because we've had fuck all good to talk about the past few weeks. So it's positive. The bad. Now, the bad of this week is Romero looks like he's likely to be out of Old Trafford. Now, it's not bad in the sense that we've got 2 amazing keepers ahead of him. So he is down the pecking order now. He is first. It's sad because I think during like your relationship with football, you become emotionally attached to some players, don't you? And Romero's kind of that player that United have took to heart, that we all love and we all treasure, and he'll forever be remembered at Old Trafford. The likes of Aston Villa, Leeds and Everton are in for it at the moment, but I think it's between Villa and Everton who's going to get him. I think for me, he's better off going to Villa. I think he'd probably be the first choice keeper at Villa, where at Everton, he's probably going to be behind Pickford, even though that'd be the way Pickford's been playing, a relatively fair battle to see who's going to take that number 1 spot. So
Villa. Has Reina signed on? No, or has he gone back to Italy?
He's signed for Lazio.
Oh, he's signed for Lazio. Yeah. I thought
there we go.
Yeah.
So, Karl, how's your feelings? Are you emotional about Romero leaving? What's your thoughts on him, mate?
No, I think he deserves a shot somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? He's been class for us. He's never moaned about being number 2. He's never really moaned about not playing big games when De Gea's been put in instead. And I think he deserves a shot somewhere else. I think he deserves a shot to be number 1 and be loved by fans, because he is a very good goalkeeper. Like, he's too good to be a number 2. He's just ridiculously good. Some of the saves he's pulled off in these games where we've needed him. And the fact is, I've never felt like when Romero plays, I've never felt like we're weaker. I've always just felt like he's solid, and it shows with the back four. The back four trusted in him, and if the back four has that much trust in a second choice keeper, mate, he can't be that bad, can he?
No, completely. I love what you just said then as well. Do you know about you'd like to give him a chance somewhere else where another club loves him and sings his name and stuff like that? That's what he really does deserve, doesn't he? He deserves a crack at that. He's been an understudy. He's been an amazing understudy, and I agree as well. I've never, whenever I see Romero's name on the team sheet, be it in the cup, Europe or league, I never fear. I always feel like positive. I always feel happy. The amount of clean sheets he kept, mate, absolutely unbelievable. And the way he commands a box, that's one thing that he's got up on De Gea for me. Is just the control he has for the box is just amazing. Mr. Joe, how are you feeling about it? Are you emotional? Are you going to be able to keep yourself together now, thinking about Romero going when I ask this question, or what?
Yeah. Well, luckily I have a few of these to help me through the night, anyway. But like, I think off the top of my head, I could be wrong. Is he our only goalkeeper to ever play in a World Cup final?
Oh, ever?
Yeah, put that into the comments, because I know I believe he had signed for us when he played. He might have still been FSA 20, or might have been a free agent, but I believe he was at us when he played for Argentina in 2014. But if you look at it, we got him as a free transfer, all right? And Van Gaal signed him. And I remember when he signed, it was like, obviously De Gea was going to be number one. Romero, I knew of him a bit, but I was like, he's not really going to, he's just there to be understudy. He's not going to really do much. But he did fantastic every time he played. And like, he was the perfect number two, because he knew his place, and he was just loved being at the club. And he whenever he did play, he gave 100%. And the fact we're going to get 8 million, between 8 and 10 million for him, is insane, for the fact that the club actually did a good bit of business.
Yeah.
Who knew they had the capability of getting a player and actually getting money for when he left the club? This sort of madness I never thought we'd see. So for the fact that he has gained us 10 million and won us, we can say he won us the Europa League, but he was our goalkeeper for Europa League final. Love him. Absolutely. And I hope he has an incredible career at Villa or anywhere else he goes. And I hope that he, because he's at peak. I think he's 33 now. He needs to go actually be first team football to see out his career the best way he deserves and best way possible. So I'm absolutely delighted for him. And I hope he never does anything to make us lose again.
Well, I'd love him to go to a Premiership club as well, because the chance for us to give him some appreciation, if he played against us as well, would be absolutely fantastic. I'm sure he feels it anyway. I'm sure he understands how much we love him at Old Trafford. The next question, obviously, for the bad is Romero's going. It's sad. What one player in the history of United made you do tears? Made you really sad? Made you feel like deep in the feels that they were leaving and you couldn't cope with it? Joe, I'll come to you, mate. Who's the one who's got the old waterworks working for you?
I was trying to think. Like, I know the answer to like my all-time Man United hero, like, and Irish hero, as you might imagine, is Roy Keane.
Why is that?
No reason at all. I just, I like the way he swears. No, but I was trying to think. I can remember when he left. I can remember because it was, obviously it was a fucking shitstorm that when he left. But for some reason, I couldn't really remember how I felt. But I can remember exactly how I felt when Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo left. And I wanted to murder him. I remember, like, my emotions were so all over the place. I was in a shopping centre in Tala, which is in South Dublin. And there was a hospital there. And I was 19, or was 18, 19. I was bringing my 11-year-old brother. He had to go in for like a very, very tiny minor operation. So tiny that I wasn't trusted to bring him up. And I am not trustworthy whatsoever. And I remember we were walking around and it was on the TV, Man United have accepted an offer. And I just remember being so mad. I was like, he lied to us. He lied to us. I remember he was interviewed before the Champions League final. And he said, he was like, are you going to go to Real Madrid? And he was like, no, or something along those lines. I was like, if he just told us he was going to stay, it would have been fine. I would have been able to accept it, but that was out of the blue. I was devastated. I was absolutely inconsolable. I was angry, then I was upset. I was, it was a lot of, like, the grieving process went on for a lot of weeks with me on that one. But eventually, I learned to accept that you can't be happy all the time, because we got Valencia instead, who was great. Yeah. But no Ronaldo. And then the money that we got from Ronaldo went nowhere, other than the Glazers' back pocket. So Ronaldo was the one that really, really got me, because he was the greatest player I ever got to see live outside of myself.
And that's the first shout, mate. I think a few people are a bit upset by Ronaldo. Like Matt, I met Ronaldo in the MEN once at a concert and asked him to please don't go to Madrid. And it didn't work, Matt. Well,
What?
Your power of influences will never, ever be used again, mate. Let's be fair with that one. I like Reece as well. He was so hurt by David Beckham leaving that he didn't even get another player's name on the back of his shirt for years. I bet.
Who did Reece get? Who was his next person he got a shirt?
Yeah, it was your next one, Reece. I bet that shirt still smells of like misery and disappointment, doesn't it?
Like all of our jerseys these days.
Mr. Karl, who was it who got the waterworks out for you, mate? Who got the tissues out?
Yeah, Beck's for me, mate. If anyone knows me, I've got a real weird obsession with David Beckham. If you look up there, I don't know if you can just see the Beckham FIFA cardlet. It was Beck to me. Like when the news broke that him and Fergie were like falling out, and it was like, Madrid are after him, and the price tag he went to Madrid for, mate, was absolutely ridiculous. He's just everything about him, mate. I based my whole life on that guy. Like I had all the haircuts for about 10 years. I had Predators every year. I always wore the 7 shirt of my football team. Every kit that I had Beckham on it. Even the retro ones I buy now, mate, getting printed up with Beck's on. Mate, Beck's. Everything about that guy was fantastic, and he's very underrated as a player. Like you speak to some people, Beckham weren't that good. Oh, hang on a minute, mate. You could put a ball on a pin. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Passing. He was quite pacey as well. I know he didn't really go past people that often, but he had a turn of pace, mate. I think he's a bit underappreciated. Again, English, do you know what I mean? And what he did for England as captain and everything like that, mate. And I think, I was wounded, mate, when he left. I was. But then it is what it is, isn't it? It's football. Life goes on,
baby.
Ronaldo was another one. Ronaldo was the first sort of. I had a real obsession with 7 after that. So whoever's number 7 really want to do well. But
how did you feel when Memphis Depay left then?
Do you know what? He's another one. I had really high hopes for Depay, mate. I loved it when he came in, and I thought, here we go. This could be the guy that sort of takes the curse away from the shirt. Since they've like Ronaldo's left. I think people who wore that shirt only scored like 15 goals.
That's right.
Depay was another one I was pretty gutted about, actually, because I had high hopes for that lad, but obviously he's killing it in France now, mate. And sometimes it just doesn't work out, does it? Sometimes people just haven't got the mentality for the sheer size of the club, and he's admitted that in interviews as well lately. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's a shame. He's doing really well over there, and sometimes you've just got to say, "Well done, fair play, enjoy your football." Do you know what I like, Carl, about Beckham as well? That you were so obsessed with him that you used to get the haircuts. I used to do the same with Yap Stam.
Still doing it, yeah. Mate, I had Mohicans, I had highlights, I had curtains, I had them all, mate. I had the skinhead. I went all full skinhead as well.
Mate, these pictures have got to come out, and they've got to come out soon.
I did Mohican and I did skinhead for Bex as well. Yeah. And you know what ad came out? It only showed up in my timeline on YouTube. Remember the Pepsi ad he did for United against Real Madrid with the Western? That came up in my timeline yesterday. It said it was from 2007. I was like, this doesn't add up at all. But I just remember looking at it. Gary Neville was on one shoulder and Phil Neville was on the other. And I was like, if you weren't best mates with him, you would not be in this fucking ad. But it was great. Yeah. Bex is a I can't remember again. I can remember I was so happy. I remember, I guess we knew he was going to leave before he left, but I remember being so happy that he scored in his final game. We were 1-0 down against Everton at Goodison Park, and he scored, I think he scored the first one, an incredible free kick. Yeah. And then Van Nistelrooy scored the second one. And it's just like, you always want club legend to leave on some sort of high. And like, even if we didn't know, or if we did know he was leaving at the time, at least he got a goal, a memorable free kick on his last game. Yeah. So like, for that's something at least, because not everyone gets that. Roy Keane left, he got subbed off after 65 minutes and a 0-0 draw against Liverpool. Do you know, he didn't even punch anyone. It was a waste. It was a waste.
Check your blood pressure there, dude. You know what I mean? For me, and I've cheated a little bit because I did say it was a player, the person who made me cry the most was Sir Alex Ferguson.
You can't give us that one.
I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry. I know
Make us look bad. Look at it. Oh, look at you not being the greatest manager on the earth. Let me take it on the big screen.
Spot the host, huh?
I swear down, I cried floods of tears. Right? I remember waking up. I woke up at probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So there's a little shit, right? And the notification came through on BBC News, and it was just there at the top of my screen. So Alex Ferguson announced his retirement, and I promise you, within like a blink of an eye, tears just. And I don't give a shit who hears this because I'm a grown man. I'm not bothered. I cried. So I swear down, I haven't cried that hard at like funerals of relatives. Yeah. It was like proper passion. Yeah. Couldn't believe the era was over. But it is a cop out. I do apologise. If it's going to be a player, it probably Ronaldo, but not as much as Sir Alex. I think all of us felt that day, didn't we?
Oh, awful. Yeah.
Matt Rush says, well, just quick nip in the comments, have a look what they're saying. When Scholes retired, I actually shed a tear watching him walk off. Loser, who cries?
Was that the first or second time?
Yeah. Good shout, Carl. Was that first or second? Or both times? Did you cry both times?
Matt? When he got sacked from Oldham, that's when he's upset about.
You are.
It's when he got sacked from Oldham. That's what he's talking about. When he retired from management. Yeah.
Right, lads. The ugly question this week. And now, if you've never watched the show before, we do a couple of topics that are associated around football. The third one is associated about football, but it's absolutely mental. That's what I like to do. So we'll do ugly this week, and I'm going to have to read it because there's a few words in here that I just couldn't get in my head, including his name. Marcus, I'd say Ciora was sold in Romanian football from UT Arad to Regal Hornia in 2006 for 15 kilograms of sausage meat. Let me just repeat that for everybody. Marcus Ciora was sold in Romanian football from UT Arad to Regal Hornia in 2006 for 15 kilograms of sausage meat. However, the player left after 1 day because of the relentless abuse he received from his teammates in relation to the circumstances regarding his move. How low must your self-esteem be when you get sold for sausage? It must be. It must be the worst. This guy, I've got sausage puns. You don't know me. You don't know me.
Oh, terrible.
Sausage signing though. You know, I just imagine the keeper going, "Yeah, I just want the wolves."
Do you know what?
Meat, lads.
How on earth you get paid for this?
I don't get paid for this shit, do I, mate?
No, I mean your actual job.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I won't do these on stage, mate. You know what I mean? I'd be lynched. I'd be mobbed, slaughtered. It'd be pathetic, but that is crazy, isn't it? It's just absolutely mad. It's just I don't know if he played football again after that. Not really a well-known footballer that I've kept tracks of. But lads, the question is, and for everybody in the comments, if you want to join in with this one, if you can quickly think on your feet, what player would you sell, and what would you sell him for? And I'm going to go to Karl first on this one.
Do you know, I've really struggled with this all week. I don't know. Who would you sell? It's going to be Pereira, isn't it? I'd probably get rid of Pereira for... I tell you what I'd sell Pereira for, because I really like these at Old Trafford. I would sell Andreas Pereira for an unlimited amount of chicken balti pies from Old Trafford. I know you said sausages, but mate, if you've never had the chicken balti pie from Old Trafford, it costs a fucking fortune, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate, an unlimited amount, a season's worth, delivered to Musty chicken balti pies.
Mate, the thing is with that as well, you're definitely getting something out of it as well. And what they could do, they could have like a little like calculator in the back which lets you know how many pies you get for Pereira. So like say it's like 1,400,000 pies. You're like, wicked. I'm never going to get through them. Do you want one, lads? You can have a pie if you want, because I'm not going to do them in a lifetime. Right, Joe.
Yeah.
What you're saying, mate? Based on the fact that this mush was sold for sausages, who used?
Okay. So who I'm selling?
Who are you selling and what for?
I am selling Jesse Lingard. Okay.
Right.
To Crystal Palace.
Right.
Okay, for a statue. All right, a statue that moves of Alan Pardew doing that little dance.
Fair play, mate.
Yeah.
Fair play.
But I don't know whether to sell it to Palace or Brighton. I don't know if a rival fan is better to send that to us. But either way, I want Pardew doing that dance, and he'll never get a job in Premier League again. But every time his name mentioned, he just does that little thing, the little shimmy.
I like that one as well. And specifically, you actually thought of a team because obviously that's where Pardew was when he did the dance. That's it. I like that one. So we've got pies and we've got Pardew doing the dance. It'd be great if you could actually sell him for actual Alan Pardew in a cage, and that's all he could do.
Oh, just did it, yeah. And then you put like a pound in every time, and then he just does the dance. And it's like, do it forever.
Put a pound in, and he goes again. Oh, mate.
Where do you put the pound?
I'll give a quick look in the comments and see what these mad mushes have come up with. I did see a few. A packet of bourbon biscuit. Only a packet, mate.
Love bourbons.
Yeah, I love bourbons as well. I love them. One packet. Selling yourself a bit short there, lad.
Worth, mate.
I'd sell chains for a packet of pick and mix. What kind, mate? What kind of pick and mix would you have? Would you have a cinema one just to get like value for money in that?
Mate, have you seen how much pick and mixes in the shops nowadays?
Is it bad at shops as well?
I steer my kids well away from that, mate.
Straight away. Oh no! Have you got cinema as well? I always like pack up pockets full of like everything that's completely cheap and tell him it's better than what's in there anyway.
I've actually
he believes me.
I got another one actually. Sorry, this is a real life one. Ian Wright. I thought it was Mark Hughes, but it's actually Ian Wright. Ian Wright was sold to Palace from his Sunday League team for a set of weights.
Was he actually sold for a set of weights?
A set of weights, yeah. I don't know how much. I think maybe for the whole team or something like that, but like for a set of weights. There was
Ian right.
Ian, correct. You're right, yeah. He was sold to Palace, who went on to score like 100 goals for them for weights. So that's a real one. So there you go.
That's mad, that, isn't it? I never knew that. I'm surprised about that because I used to love the story of Wright and how he came from like Sunday League football all the way through.
That video of him with his teacher like gets me every time.
Oh yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? When he meet back at Highbury, did he?
Yeah, and he hugs him, and your man is so awkward. He's like, "We're very proud of you, Ian." Yeah, every time. Can't deal.
Lads, I'm selling Lingard as well. And it's no offense to Lingard, but I'm going to sell him for some camels. Just because I live near Blackpool, man, you don't get many camels. You get donkeys. So it'd be a niche market. And do you know what's great as well? I found this, right? It's the camel calculator. So it tells you how many camels you get for a person, right? So I'm gonna see how many camels I get for Lingard.
Oh my God.
I pressed that one there, the man. Oh, I got to come up with an ad. Is he 27?
Yeah, 27, yeah.
So Lingard's 27.
Put in the score in the FA Cup final.
He's 175 centimetres high, because I've done my research. What colour hair would you say? He's got black or blonde?
Black. Definitely black. Yeah.
Not blonde, black or brown, I meant. Hair length short.
Yeah.
Brown eyes. Have you looked at his eyes, boys? Are they brown?
I haven't looked deep into them, but I would imagine so.
He's not got any facial hair, really. And he's fairly muscular. He's not fat and he's not skinny.
Yeah.
Moment of truth. How many camels can I get for Jesse?
What's the average?
This is the first on a football podcast, isn't it?
I'm going to say 6. How many?
What? 66 camels. It says for your boyfriend, but it's not my boyfriend. It's Jesse Lingard. I get 66 camels for Jesse Lingard. Now, you can't tell me that is a good deal. Listen, I wouldn't even. I could have some in my back garden. I wouldn't need all them for the business. I could just have a couple knocking about.
Listen,
again.
Listen,
Hey?
will Blackpool, mate. Will they even survive on Blackpool Beach? It's Baltic in Blackpool, mate.
It is. Yeah, maybe not this. Maybe just it's summer then.
I don't think you've taught this one fully true. I don't think that's how it really works.
No, all the way through my life, I've come up with like loads of like Del Boy kind of ideas, and there's people like you shitting on me and telling me,
mate.
You're right. Don't get the
one last look in because Afteek said he wants to do something. I would sell Smalling, Romero, Jones, Lingard, Pereira. You didn't really get the question, mate.
Yeah,
maybe he's saying it'd sell Smalling, Romero, Jones, Lingard, Rojo, and Pereira for your thoughts.
Karl, I don't need that sort of stuff right now.
Yeah, that's messing with me head a little bit now.
Yeah,
guys, Karl, thank you very much. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
If you want to, that United family, that United family at Mr. Karl Edgar. I might just cheekily plug the giveaway we're doing as well.
Yeah,
we're actually doing a giveaway for directly from the mega store of the new home or away shirt of your choice in your size. So come over to the channel, check it out. It's on Emma's Twitter at Emma Red _. All you got to do is retweet, subscribe to the channel and stuff like that. So yeah, check that out if you want.
Banging prizes galore. Joe, what are you giving anything away, mate?
Well, I'm going to go over to Karl's channel and win all that. So thanks very much, Karl. Find me on my YouTube channel at Joe O'Neill. You can see all my short films, some comedy short films, some of them United related, some of them not. And give a like and subscribe to all of them, please, or else I'll find you and kill you. And Joe Your Own Way on Instagram, and Acting Joe in the bottom left-hand corner there on Twitter. So find me, check me, subscribe, like, tell me you love me, please. Thank you.
He needs the love. He needs self-validation. Before I go, Atif, mate, honestly, I'm only joking. The question was, there was a player once sold for sausage meat. And when I was asking the lads who they sell and what kind of weird kind of monetary value would they sell it for. But I'll let you know next time what I think about that because we're going to get out of here. I've got gin to drink. Guys, thanks very much. Thank you for everybody who's joined us. Please do not forget to subscribe, like and share to this channel. I'm Rusty. You can catch me on my channel as well, Eat, Sleep, Unite, Repeat, and Stretford _10 on Twitter. I think for now, though, that's enough, isn't it? Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.